Hello, Expat Explore community. Welcome to episode 11. I'm here with On the Road. I'm Branden from South Africa. I'm joined by lovely Victoria in New Zealand. We have Matt from Australia, and we're missing Luke. Luke has gone on an adventure. Now, Luke will probably come back next week with a whole lot of stories, and we love the way that Luke's come back and tells us his stories. But we are joined by one of my fellow countrymen. His name is Willem. And Willem is our tour leader down in South Africa. So Willem, take it away.
Hello guys, hope you all are well. I'm Willem from South Africa, 27 years old, born in Cape Town, and love this beautiful country.
Okay, so Willem, what we're just going to do is ask you a few questions about mainly South Africa and the tour that we run in South Africa. Can you just run us through kind of a brief explanation of what Expat does in South Africa, what our tour is?
So we've got a beautiful 14-day trip that goes for 14 days throughout South Africa, covers majority of the provinces. We start in Cape Town, the Western Cape. We have around 3 nights where we stay in Cape Town city centre. From there on, every night we add a new destination, travelling throughout the country. First province is the Western Cape, then we do the Eastern Cape province, we do Gauteng province, and then from there on Mpumalanga province. So some of the towns you can look out for as we go on the trip. It is going to be Hermanus, it is going to be Mossel Bay, it is going to be Tsitsikamma. And then from there on Eastern Cape province, we're going to go into the beautiful, beautiful Cape St. Francis. Cape St. Francis, the ostrich capital of the world, known as Oudtshoorn. And from there on, we're going to make our way more north, up close to the Kruger, in the Kruger National Park area. We can stay in that area there for around three days to feel the Kruger National Park and to give you guys a whole experience of South Africa in the area. It's a full jam-packed tours for 14 days.
Yeah, it sounds very diverse. So quickly, what's your favorite part? What's the favorite thing about being a guide in South Africa?
I would definitely say the wide variety of cultures that we've got. We experience it every day, and to share the people all around the world what South Africa has to offer, the food, the language, the cuisine, the nature. But most important is that creating that beautiful memories and to inspire them to come back again, to learn more about South Africa and Africa, but also to learn about the animals, the wild animals, to conserve it, to keep our rhinos and the animals of South Africa and all around the world safe. It's a beautiful experience for yourself, but also as a group and for people.
Well, I'm very, very excited to go to South Africa. You guys may not know. I mean, obviously, Branden, you're there, and Willem, you're there, but Matt and myself both have not been to South Africa yet. So we are very excited to hear all about it. And also for those of you listening, you may not know that we've actually never met Willem in person. So he is one of our colleagues. He's part of the Expat family, but we haven't met him. So we're very excited to have this little chat with him today, get to know him a little bit more and learn about the South African tour. So yeah, I just wondered, just to get a little bit more information about you before we go deeper into the tour, how long you've been guiding, and I know that there's quite a lot of different languages in Africa. How many of those languages can you speak, and do you encounter them on the tour?
So I've been guiding now for 5 years and around 2 years for Expat Explore. In South Africa, we've got 11 official languages. I speak only 2, unfortunately, Afrikaans and English. I try to give them as much information, teach them as much as possible about Afrikaans, but also as we go along throughout the country, as we get more diverse, as we move east and northwards, I try to teach them as much as possible about the other 11 official languages of South Africa. For example, some Xhosa and some Zulu, even if just basic words saying hello or thank you. And it's words like that that stuck with them for the rest of their lives. And a lot of the people, local of the guests, they will use that words, and you can see the local people, how they appreciate it, they smile, give them a hug, give them a kiss. So yeah, we try as much as possible to diverse the trip and give them a lot of information languages. So we try, yeah, it's a wonderful experience.
Awesome.
Sounds fun. Branden, do you speak Afrikaans?
No, unfortunately not.
Not a real South African.
I can speak some Xhosa.
What is that one?
I know I've taught you guys this before, but you know, it's the click language here in Africa, and a lot of people question it. So there is something in Xhosa that I can speak, and it's just the vowels. So ti, ka, ko, ku. That's. I feel very proud of myself to do that.
All right. So back to Willem, and we are all very excited to come visit you in South Africa. But Matt had a question for you about coming to visit us in Europe.
Yeah, Willem, I was interested. We want to get to know you a little bit more. Haven't met you yet. We're from, well, not from Europe, but we work in Europe. It's our expertise. Understand you haven't been, so if you could come over to Europe and join us, what would be your first destination?
First destination would be the Netherlands, and from there we'll go Belgium, France, Italy, Germany. But then definitely I'll come and visit you guys, say hello, bring you some wine and some biltong. England, experience England a little bit. Go watch some cricket at Lords, Twickenham. Just experience England all in one.
I do find it interesting that the first place you want to visit is Amsterdam. Now, now, obviously, South Africa has a huge amount of history, and it must be really exciting on the tour to learn all about that. But of course, because we're European guides, Europe is often, one of the things that we're very interested in. So I guess when you want to come and visit Amsterdam, it's because of the Dutch heritage. So with regards to that, sorry, my question is long. In South Africa, because you have this European connection, does it mean you have lots of European food in South Africa? And European wine, for example?
Yes, definitely. We do have a lot of influence from Europe, definitely with the food, I'm going to say, styles of making wine, but also a lot of our local foods from that we put together, make it our own, styles that we learned, taught. Some of the guys say we steal it, stole it, mix it together. But yes, we've got our local cuisine, food that we do have, but also the influence from language that we've got, the way we do things. So for example, we don't say we go to traffic light, we go to a robot. So there's a lot of mixtures that we've got.
And we don't do things now, we do them just now.
We will never understand.
We embrace all those cultures all in one.
Willem, speaking of food, a few years ago, Branden made me a traditional South African dish. But Boise, do you get the chance to try that on the tour?
Yes, definitely. We're very fortunate to try it when we're going to do a wine tasting in Stellenbosch. After our first wine tasting, we give you guys included meal. But Boise, and it's ideally to go with a bottle of red wine, Pinotage, a low Shiraz, so definitely, yes. And we get the opportunity to taste a lot of South African food cuisine throughout the trip to give it true South African
it must be
experience.
such a diverse, kind of gastronomic experience going through South Africa, because even thinking about where I'm from, so I'm from Durban, and we have, most of our food is Indian influence because we have a large population of Indians. So when you go through, you must have such a wide range, starting in Cape Town, coming down the coast through the garden route and then moving up inland. You must have just such a cool variety of foods, whether it be biltong or braais or seafood and stuff like that. Amazing.
Yeah, it's wonderful. I joke with the guys, it's actually a food tour because you experience so much and such a wide variety and such a good quality. It's wonderful. It's really a true experience. And a lot of these foods, you can take it with you and take it back home with you. Go try, experience there, add some spices, food, cuisine, and make it fun. And you can share that all around the world.
Whenever
so
I think
go Vic.
I was going to say, whenever I think of South African food, I always think of that dried meat. Is it really as popular as...
South Africans normally have some close
biltong.
And you know what?
It's just a bag.
He's just sitting there. It's like, the rest of the world eats crisps or chips and we eat biltong.
And is it true that it can be any kind of animal, or does it have to be one? Is it normally beef, or it can be all kinds of different meat?
So Branden, you can add on this one. I would personally say it's beef, but then you get, for example, springbok, you get kudu, you get impala, you get warthog, you get ostrich, beef jerky or biltong. So there's a wide variety, but mostly antelopes that you'll get from it. As biltong.
Yeah, they
also sticks, beef sticks.
Yeah, drivers. My favorite is warthog, and something that when you go to South Africa and when you go to safari parks and things, you often get the opportunity to taste the local food, because they have to control populations and so on. And one of the coolest things I've ever eaten is a warthog. So those of you who are Lion King fans, I ate Pumbaa, and he's delicious. Absolutely delicious.
Okay, so moving
Finally
on.
got him.
Now that you're mentioning it, I think one of the things that people are really excited to do when they come to South Africa is go to a safari park. So can you tell us a little bit more about that, and what can we see and what happens? And yeah.
Yeah, so first of all, the main attraction definitely is, and it must be in your bucket list, definitely is the Kruger National Park. It is beautiful. It's almost the same size as Israel, more than 20,000 square kilometers big. It has the big five, the small five, the ugly five, one of the biggest protection of rhinos in South Africa, all around the world.
Did you say ugly
It's
five?
beautiful.
Yeah.
Yes.
What is ugly?
Well, the ugly
That
five
is-
would be if Luke was joining us. Us five.
Speak for yourself, Branden.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is the ugly
So
five?
the warthog is one,
Oh.
the vultures are one.
Pumbaa.
Oh.
Yeah. And we call a Pumbaa in Afrikaans a vlakvark.
Sounded like a swear word.
It did.
Just because,
It's not,
just
I
to
promise.
make this clear, I don't speak Afrikaans. What does that mean?
It means a
A
Pumbaa.
warthog is a vlakvark. Yeah.
And so,
yeah,
no, sorry. You go. Carry on with the safari.
it's a beautiful national park. There's wild animals in it. It's a wide variety of animals that is in there. It's an open vehicle. So you drive through and it's wild, again, wild animals in its nature, in its wild habitat. To experience it birding, it's beautiful. And the big thing about it is you never know what you're going to get because of the size of it. It's animals. They walk around in nature. They can hunt. They can kill straight in front of you. It's not in your control. It's nature up to its best and preserved to its best. And that's why it's such a most important trip to do and to experience it once in your life, and for children and for people. And I can't pre-book it or tell WhatsApp the animals be there. It's all on lock nature.
Yeah, you can't just WhatsApp.
I want to know
Simba,
exactly
come
what
over.
I'm going to see. No, so wow, that's so exciting. Now, as you know, part of our series, we often ask questions like strange or funny things that have happened. Have you got any funny or strange stories that have happened in safari parks with regards to the animals?
So one of it was definitely we were at the place where we're staying outside of the Kruger. And just to give you guys a scenario, we had a lapa, which is a statue roof where there's a nice bar, close swimming pool, and the guys were chilling, playing some cards. And all of a sudden, we just heard a lady screaming. And then there was a hyena standing on the side, smiling at her. Saying, hello.
Hyenas are so scary as well.
And luckily, she's tamed a little bit. And then one other one is when we drive in the Kruger, as there's a lot of elephants. The park is big. We stopped close to the elephants, and then all of a sudden, just turned around, faced the front side of the coach. The ears started flapping, danced a little bit, and that's where I got silent. Usually don't play with them at all when there's babies or when it's musking time, so mating time. So yeah, that's your encounters that you get. Or for example, when we stop at a rest camp, Skukuza, there is lizards running around. You had people sitting at the toilet and then they see a lizard screaming, shouting. But that's Africa, that's the bush, and that's what you want, that experience. It's beautiful.
Out in the wild,
So going back to the elephants, are you in an expat coach when you're seeing these animals, or are you in like a safari vehicle that I imagine, with open windows and big tires, that kind of stuff?
So for the first day, when we're in the Kruger National Park, when we drive with a coach, I'm the guide, and we drive through the Kruger to give them as much as possible time in there and experience it, take pictures, buy souvenirs, buy some beef jerky. So we're in a closed coach, and it gives us a huge advantage to get height and see further from all the other vehicles. We drive the majority of the Kruger through the areas of doing the coach, and afterwards, the next few days when they do their safaris, they are in an open vehicle where they can feel the smell. If there is fresh dung, they can smell it. But again, it's wild animals, so you can't touch them or take a selfie, or you can't touch them. But it's all open air vehicles.
Okay, cool.
I think Branden's on safari.
Yeah, I was
right
going to
now,
say,
by the sound of
laughing
it.
because it sounds like a safari park.
Is that a monkey or a bird?
There's a lot of sounds happening. There are monkeys around, but you can hear there's some Egyptian geese that are flying overhead. That's that horrible sound that you can hear. Wait till you hear a hardy-dar.
That's quite a long way.
Now, I have heard about some other really cool optionals on the South Africa trip, as well as obviously going into the safari and going to the Bordeaux of South Africa, tasting Branden's favorite
you've just named
Pinot
it.
Tart.
You've named it.
Well, that's what I'm going to call it.
Stellenbosch, the Bordeaux in South Africa.
Weren't there some other really good optionals available on this trip that we could get excited about?
Definitely. So one I'm going to definitely call is going to be the helicopter tour. That you're going to look at the beautiful Table Mountain, Lions Head, the beautiful Atlantic Ocean. You'll overlook also Robben Island. Another important one definitely that you need to do on your bucket list is go on the beautiful Cape Peninsula. We'll drive all along the coast. Going to look at Robben Island, see it from the side, the beautiful coast that we've got. We'll stop at Cairnsburg to look at the 12 Apostles, the side of Table Mountain, Lions Head. We'll see a beautiful Noordhoek, Long Stretch Beach. Then from there on Cape Point, oldest beach where the African penguins is, we give you the opportunity to try some African fish and chips and some calamari and prawns as an option or optional. And the other ones that's really popular definitely is going to be the shark cage diving. Well,
yes, I want to talk about shark cage diving. I was waiting for you to come on.
Luke will be all over this.
Yeah, he'd be there
swimming with the shark.
So just to name a few, we've got a lot of optionals that is also included. So there's really something for each and everyone on this trip. Monkey land, birds of Eden, zip lining, bungee jumping. So that is on offer. Kango caves, going for our caves, beautiful stalagmites, stalactites caves that we've got. We do a Johannesburg city tour that's optional. Kruger National Park, which is a must. It's a wonderful experience. Yeah. It's literally the whole South Africa in just one trip.
But just on that shark cage diving, you do that in Hermanus, eh?
We do that in Hermanus, yes.
From what I know, that's okay, Gansbaai as well. So for those of you who don't know, that's the best place to go and see great white sharks in the world. And the reason for that is it's because the only place in the world where they jump out of the water, and scientists still don't know why they do it.
That's that place. Yeah. So Shark Week. Shark Week on Discovery Channel.
Wow.
There was like a news thing in Australian, I think it was the morning show in Australia. They saw a shark jumping out of the water, and she just said, "Stuff summer." Like, I'll never go in the water ever again.
So, Willem, with the shark cage diving, didn't you also mention that you can see there's somewhere where you can go and watch the whales? Is that in the same place?
It's at the same place in the whole area. Yes, we stay in the town called as Hermanus, and that is also the best place to spot the southern right whales in South Africa. So literally where we are staying, it's not even 20 meters there we're at the beach or the ocean. There you can spot the southern right whales. But then if you want to go and see them in depth closer, we do have a whale or Big Five tour of the ocean where you can spot the whales much closer. So
you have a Big Five in the ocean.
And well,
there's another Big Five?
Big Fives everywhere.
How many Big Fives do we have in South Africa?
Is one of them a penguin?
Yes, definitely. Yes,
okay.
correct. And the whale, a sharky.
Oh my gosh, do you know how much fun it's going to be? We're all going to come on your tour at the same time. You're going to show us all these Big Fives everywhere, wherever.
The ugly five will come on tour.
Anytime, more than welcome.
So I'm going to ask you a question that I always don't like getting asked myself, but I'm going to put you on the spot. What is your favorite food to eat on the South African tour?
Everything.
Because I can never choose. So now you have to choose.
All the food.
It's very difficult. As I said, we've got a wide variety of food. Traditional food, we get wild meat, we get seafood. We've got potjiekos, we've got steaks.
Potjie is like a stew we cook in a pot.
So there's really a wide variety that you get. But I must say the wild meat is always lekker and nice. It's always a winner.
Yes, it must be lekker.
When you say wild meat,
word, lekker.
what do you mean?
So
do you guys in South Africa eat your safari animals? It's okay. They do that in Australia too, but we don't.
Yeah,
Just saying.
we don't cover.
You don't eat kiwis? Just the
Too
fruit.
small.
No, I'm just, no, I'm not actually, I'm just being interested. Like, can you eat all those animals? It's normal or it's delicacy?
The endangered ones, I'm sure.
Well,
So as you said now, the ones that's most endangered, not at all. But so, for example, it's very common you'll get springbok, kudu, eland, warthog, you get ostrich, you're getting impala, crocodile. And that's mainly at your bigger places, let's say fancy restaurants, that area. But also when you're in the bushveld, the area in the Kruger National Park, they can dish it, serve it there. You can experience, try there. Because it's such a big scale, there is smaller areas also where you have them there. And it's as to protect the nature, keep it in balance sometimes.
Yeah.
Yes,
But would you
is
eat that
exactly
at home? Like, would you guys cook that at home?
Ostrich, yes. Ostrich a lot. I love ostrich.
Oh my gosh. Is it true that an ostrich egg is like 12 normal eggs?
It's like this big. It's huge. You can make scrambled egg from it. So sometimes, if you're lucky and you're at a game reserve, your scrambled eggs will be ostrich eggs, if you're lucky.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Willem, I got a question for you as well, on a bit of a darker note. South Africa gets a bit of a bad press in the media, and perhaps people are a little bit worried about safety in terms of visiting South Africa. Have you got any comments on anyone who might have some concerns?
So first of all, I definitely recommend speak to our people at Expat Explore. They know what they're talking about. They know the area and the people. So they'll give you a lot of information and facts. But the other thing is that's why myself and the other guide is there. As we're locals, we know the area, the people, what to expect. We'll give you facts and information, the areas, keep you updated, posted. But please keep in mind, it's the same situation all around the world. So avoid dark alleys, walk where people are walking. When you're traveling, keep it basic and simple. Don't flash your belongings. Yes, all around the world, things are changing. But we are there to help in. We go to the most beautiful touristy areas that you can go. So definitely recommend it. So yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Well, I think
I already feel
because
safe in your hands, Willem. I am.
Yeah. Well, South Africa,
I've been through Paris and Barcelona.
If we can survive Paris and Barcelona and Rome, then you can survive South Africa easy.
Yeah.
Now, tell me again, this tour doesn't start and finish in the same destination? Like, where do you fly to and where do you leave from? And more importantly, does the tour, sorry if this is a sore spot, Branden, but does the tour go to Durban?
No, it doesn't.
Unfortunately not.
So, I've been putting pressure on Expat in lots of different ways. And mainly what I want them to do is, give me a tour. Let me run a tour in South Africa. And then, then we can talk about bringing things to Durban. But, I'd like to get involved if anyone's listening, people like your Carls, your Jakes, your Gregs.
All right. So it doesn't go to Durban, but where does it start?
It doesn't go to Durban. Yeah.
And where does it end? And how does it work?
The tour starts in the mother city, one of the most important places. It starts in the Western Cape. It starts in Cape Town. We'll meet me there. And from there on, we'll go all along the coast, the beautiful Eastern Cape province. From there on, we'll go inland. We'll go to George. We will fly to Johannesburg. From there on, we'll get a coach. We'll drive more northwards to the Kruger National Park and the surrounding attractions and ends back in Johannesburg. And it's ideally for the tourists to fly back from Joburg to all their destination. It saves them time, easy to get flights. But also if they want to venture onwards, any areas deep into Africa,
Great.
Ideally to end it at Johannesburg for them.
And there's an internal flight, is there? Is that because the distances are so big?
Yes, as we are a big country, we want to give you as much as possible in the time period that we've got to give you that luxury, but also to spend more time in the Kruger, in that whole environment to show you the attractions.
Cool.
All right.
I think it's similar to Europe where we do go at quite a fast pace. Yeah, so you have quite a few one-night stops and you're getting up early in the morning and then doing a lot in the day. Is that how it works? Yeah. And expat passengers love that. I mean, we just want to see as much as possible, right?
Yeah, if you're only going one time, you want to see as much as possible.
True. I think sometimes the latest we'll get to attraction is the last evening, and that's 8 o'clock. But that's when we drive from high up Sabi all the way back to Johannesburg. That's a longer drive. But furthermore, 5, 6 o'clock, we're at the evenings at our hotels. Sometimes 2 o'clock, where they can go to the beach and swim a little bit or relax, drink some cocktails,
that sounds
some
so
brandy.
good.
So it's worth the while to wake up early, but to have a wide variety, a lot of stuff to do in a short time period in the day.
Yeah, we know all about that. So can you swim on these tours? Is it warm enough?
Depending on if you're warm in my waters.
Wait, we're in Africa, so.
Cape Town has a very cold current though. So I don't know where else you would go and swim, but on that kind of western Cape of South Africa, we have a very cold. We have the cold ocean, very warm ocean in Durban. If anyone wanted to know,
Speaking of temperatures, Willem, what time of year is good for the tour? Is there any particular season South Africa runs?
South Africa goes straight throughout the year. You can come at any time. We'll suit you anytime. But I want to say to you, end of March is not that warm anymore a lot in the Western Cape areas. And then again, winter time periods, you can expect some rain in the Western Cape areas, but some days there will be no rain at all. But keep in mind also, as we get closer to December, that's also a good time to come, which is ideally also for the crew. But straight throughout the year, you can come to South Africa. The weather is lekker, and the people are ready for you.
The weather is lekker.
Oh, it is a year-round destination.
Definitely, yes, definitely.
Yeah, okay. And what about is there a high season when there's lots of tourists, or it's just all year?
Yeah, it will be normally in South Africa, November, December, January, February. And that's when our local South Africans travel all throughout the country to your top tourist attractions. But luckily for us, the time period when we do the tours, there's not a lot of South African people that is traveling. So the guest gets the experience on their own, on their feeling, or meet other travelers on it. So it is ideal for them straight throughout the year.
Yeah, it sounds like an ideal trip all round. We're gonna have to wrap this up. We are running out of time. Willem, thank you so much. That was such a nice. I love talking about my own country, and it's nice to chat to you about it. I hope our audience enjoyed it as well. So if you are interested in traveling to South Africa, the chances are Willem is going to be your guide. And it's just an absolutely fantastic tour. It has everything from wildlife to scenery to wine to food to whales to sharks. What a time to be alive, hey?
To ugly fives,
big
to
fives.
big fives.
Yeah, to ugly fives, small fives, big fives.
And Willem, just really quickly, is there anything, you've got like a minute or so to wrap up. Is there anything you want to say to the guests or to anyone who's listening about South Africa and the tour? Just to finish.
One promise I can make you in life is definitely going to change after this trip. What you're going to see, what you experience, the humbleness, and the friends you're going to make is going to be friends for the rest of your lives. So please come and visit. You won't regret it. That I can promise you.
No, I'm honestly so excited, and I will definitely be trying to fit in one of those tours in the coming, whenever it's possible, shall we say.
Yeah. All right. So goodbye from Durban. Thanks again for listening in to us. I'm Branden, and thank you so much for listening. On to you guys.
Good night from Australia. See you guys. Willem, very nice to meet you. Can't wait to meet you in person. See you in South Africa sometime soon.
Yeah, thanks so much, Willem. It was really great to talk to you. Thank you for coming on our little show. And yeah, can't wait to meet you either in Europe or down in South Africa. And so that's bye from New Zealand.
Thank you so much, guys. Enjoy. Lucky chatting with you. Stay safe.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, sorry, we were